This program is made possible by a grant from Tiger Security Products, an income opportunity in today's growing security industry. Tiger Security Products, helping America move forward. Boca Raton, Florida. By CertaPro Painters, the business opportunity with proven results. CertaPro Painters, not all franchises are created equal. Sunrise, Florida. By Investment Exchange, providing capital sources for both new and growing American businesses. Welcome to Start Your Own Business. And now, here's your host, Jim Rossetti.
Hello, I'm Jim Rossetti, and this show is Start Your Own Business. Our series was created to give you practical ideas on how to begin your own business, even with as little as $500 and working from your home or garage. In our shows, we'll talk about subjects such as finding expansion capital, building a national sales force, selecting the product or service you want to offer, and getting free publicity. We'll also be visiting with guests who will give us helpful hints that might help you begin with your own business. Now let's meet today's guests and talk to some of our business experts. My guest today is actually a couple in business together. It's Anthony and Susan Katea. And you both have interesting backgrounds. You've come out of professions that were totally unrelated to what you're doing now, and yet somehow you've managed to come into a new business and build it into something that's very viable now. How'd you get started in this? Was it necessity or just...
Well, I think there's truth in that. Necessity is the mother of invention.
Yeah.
We came down to, made a major move, and then decided that while we were starting up with continued real estate business, that it would be prime opportunity to look at a new situation. Seeing the increase in crime, we thought there's a niche in the market that we can fill. And we essentially looked for crime deterrent products.
Right.
To move away from the lethal weapon.
Well, we're living in a day and age, and I think you can't pick up a paper today without seeing some criminal act, and there's different bills being enacted, and so it's on everybody's mind, and the fear element is here. So, but you're like a lot of entrepreneurs, you saw a niche, and said, hey, let's do something about it.
Well, what you say is very true. We're all aware of it. But if you start to look around, you have to actually go to a specialty store to try to find some products. We decided that with Tiger Security, we could move our products on racks and have them in supermarkets, convenience stores, drug chains, wherever you look.
Now we're talking things like the pepper sprays.
Pepper sprays, personal alarms, door alarms, child monitors, stun guns, anything that, will keep someone away from your vehicle, your home, and your person.
Well, what you've done is developed the name Tiger Securities is the company name or the corporate name now.
Tiger Security, yes.
Yeah, and created a family or a display of products that can be put into stores or placed in various locations.
Yeah, essentially all the products are under one trademark, under one registered trade name and trademark, Tiger and Tiger Security Products and Tiger Security Centers.
Right.
The advantage to that is product identification.
Yeah.
And when people go into a particular store, they see a unified look. The advantage is that they can relate to that, to the product, and they say, well, Tiger Security Products, it has the Tiger pepper sprays. We have a 10% solution of pepper sprays. Which is one of the fastest growing industries within this country. Over 18 million defense sprays were sold in the United States last year alone. The industry is a $300 million industry and growing by leaps and bounds. With more enactment of gun control laws, the unfortunate part about that is there may be more gun control laws, but the bad guys still have the guns.
Still get the guns, yes, sir.
So now what does one do to protect themselves? And the way to do that today is in non-lethal ways, and that's why there's been such a
Without
just an explosion in deterrent. You know.
inflicting serious damage on somebody, you can stop an aggressor from harming you or doing some damage to you or your family.
That's correct.
Yeah,
You know, we have
situation, yeah.
door viewers and video door monitors and things that really put you on alert. It's unfortunate people becoming essentially prisoners in their own home, but the number one problem facing America today is crime.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask anyone, it's not health care, it's not welfare, it's not even even the economy.
Right.
It's crime, but it's all related. You know, the economy and everything is related to the crime problem, and it's not going away.
Well, now you've developed. Now you've come up with a name, Tiger Securities. That's your own exclusive name. Is that
Yes.
You've come up with a line of products and also offer a business opportunity now that people can get into, take advantage of, and place in stores or actually have their own route, build their own route in their geographical area. Is that right?
Well, this is a wonderful way for an added income
Yeah.
or to slowly move into your own business.
Yeah.
Everything is done for you. You can purchase racks, go out, place them in stores, service them.
They would be, in other words, as
Yeah.
they come into the business, you'd be able to provide them with everything they need, really, to get out and start generating income off their business.
Yeah, essentially all of um, the items, you know, in addition to a variety of products, all of the what we call collateral material, the additional material, the banners, the header cards, all of those things that the posters that you would need to put inside in a store window, for instance, all of those things, and they're evolving and developing, and we are improving them constantly. We have designers that's all they do. They spend a considerable amount of time designing these things. So there's a big advantage instead of going out and piecemealing the products and buying a little piece here and a little piece there and trying to put it all together. Plus the fact that a retail establishment likes the idea you walk in, it's all done for them, and it's very simple. They don't need to, you don't reinvent the wheel.
Right.
It's done for you.
Well, basically, as you go to a retailer, the person could be consigning the products into the retail establishment and then servicing the products as they're replenishing them.
Which makes it an easy sale also because you're consigning the product. You're not asking them for the sale.
Right.
It's attractive packaging. Once they see that the product line moves, then you can come back in larger orders.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
a win-win for the retailer,
Exactly.
a win-win for the business entrepreneur, and a win-win for you.
Well,
So I
one of the
think-
biggest problems today, I should say, is that people go out and they buy product, and then they take the product and they have their inventory, and it's sitting in their garage.
Yeah.
And you can't sell anything if it's sitting in your garage. But through this method and this system, what happens is they take the product, they can put it into a retail establishment. Your inventory now is in the path of a sale.
Right.
In other words, it has the greatest opportunity to be sold when somebody can see it.
Sure, yeah.
And that's really our objective. We do it on our own. We have our own racks that we put in
Well,
place.
as you mentioned before we started the show today, Anthony, you had mentioned people don't get up in the morning thinking, I need some security devices, I need something. It's some of those things are impulses. And they're out in a store, they're shopping, and they see a display like this, and it triggers a reaction. Hey, there's something, no pun intended there, but they needed, hey, this is something we could use, maybe to have in our car, have on our person. I see people carrying them on the keychains now. It's
That's
become very,
correct.
very fashionable. You're talking about the kind of products right now that people are having to buy mail order through the backs of magazines and that type of thing. Now they can be in a retail establishment and see a whole family.
Well, they can see them in multiple retail establishments, not those that are just specified for that particular type of product.
Right.
And that really is the advantage.
Yeah.
And most of the retail establishments are looking for a variety of products. They're always looking for different products. And this is the type of product you cannot buy. If you were the richest person, you couldn't buy the publicity
Right.
that this industry gets every minute of every second of every day.
Yeah.
It's just multi-millions of dollars are spent in publicity.
Well, the front pages are
Exactly.
it's
That's your
there, yeah.
advertising.
Or the 6 o'clock news, or every time you read about it, you say, I got to do something to be protected. And Was there something personally that ever happened to you, Susan, or to Anthony that maybe led you?
Well, I
down
think
the
we've
path?
all been
Yeah.
victims in one way or another
Yeah.
at times. Yeah, I've had a purse stolen and a car and a car cassette radio taken out. In
Yeah.
fact, I think about 3 times we've experienced that.
I have been, living in big cities. I've never really, honestly, had any serious problems, and I lived in big cities. But every time I read about it, I keep thinking, well, is it getting closer? Is it getting closer to the day when something is going to happen? Yeah.
Usually what I find, I get some retail walk-in sales, and what I find is people wait until they have been victimized before purchasing security items. And that's unfortunate. But again, I feel that
That
perhaps...
purchase is buying out of fear. Yeah.
Right, but also, I think perhaps the reason is that they haven't found the product readily available.
Right.
They don't know what's available, and then they come looking for it. They make a concerted effort to find something that will prevent that instance from happening again.
Where do I get it? There's no specific store that specializes in these things. So I would say this creates a real opportunity for people that want to get into their own business. You're into an industry that's growing, good, bad, or otherwise. It's growing. It's there. It's not going away. Population's growing. Cities are being overrun for whatever reason. If crime is up or on the incline, we got to deal with it. And some entrepreneur can find a marketplace for it.
Well, I think
Exactly.
it speaks also to the fact that there's an opportunity, but you're also providing an important service.
Yeah.
You're not, we don't advocate lethal weapons as a means, and not that we're against guns. We're not against guns, but what we're against is the fact that most people either don't know how to use a lethal weapon, you're not sure whether in a circumstance they would use a lethal weapon in order to protect themselves.
Right.
And a lethal weapon certainly could be turned and used against you.
Yeah.
So all of those elements we looked at and said we wanted to focus in a product mix that really was one of deterrent, one of awareness,
Right.
one of warning of people that they don't have to get involved in going out and purchasing a gun. I mean, not many people would go out and buy a gun and again turn around and use it unless they were in absolute fear of their life.
Sure.
And then with the laws of the country today, you don't know, they'll turn it around and say that it was your fault.
Yeah, some people, just the handling of a gun makes people nervous, and it goes against the grain so much in the lifestyle of some people. But you're talking about products here that aren't really going to permanently injure anybody, but they will stop somebody and give you time enough to get out of an uncomfortable situation.
Well, not only against individuals, but also against animals.
Yeah.
Dogs
Sure.
and
Stray dog or something.
one of the biggest deterrents today in hunting are the canisters, the large canisters of pepper spray,
Right.
because the pepper spray is very effective against bears. And my feeling is if it'll stop a 1,000-pound bear, it'll probably stop a 200-pound human being.
All right, now somebody that may be sitting out there wondering how do we get into a business like this? Where do we start? How would you bring somebody to the starting point of getting started with this? Maybe picking up the phone, calling you for information?
Well, that's certainly the first step. The first thing that they should do is really come to their own conclusion that they want to take charge of their own lives.
Right.
And they want to, be involved in a business on their own, whether it be a full-time business or a part-time business. And the beauty of this type of arrangement is that they can do it either way.
Sure.
They can either
Yeah.
do it full-time, part-time. They can work 1 hour a day. They can work 10 hours a day.
People are searching; they're looking for something. So they're looking for the opportunity, the niches that we talked
Exactly.
about. And you're laying it in front of them. You've done a lot of the work, put together display packages for them, a family of products, and created the name. And of course, even the logo draws attention to the name.
And we've even thought about marketing tools and items and tools that they could bring into the retailer
Yeah.
that will enhance sales. So we've done a lot of the legwork, and really All they need to do is take the product out.
Right.
So,
Now, you've got distributors right now all over the United States that are involved in the business?
Right,
Yes.
all over the United
Yeah.
States.
Yes.
Okay.
We're, as a matter of fact, we are planning at this present time to set up a whole distribution network in Central America, and the Latin American market is an enormous market, and we have distributors that are focused in distributing in the Latin American market. We encourage export.
Right.
We encourage our distributors to seek export opportunities, and we will work with them. We will give them better pricing if a product is exported, because then we would, there are ways in order to minimize the duties or eliminate the duties that we would pay if a product is exported.
Sure.
And there are incentives for that as well.
We might tell the viewers that for those that would get into this type of business are looking for information on exporting, there are entities such as the Small Business Development Centers are all over the United States. They'll help people get global with their businesses, and SCORE is a great opportunity. So there's places people can go and learn about importing and exporting. And we're talking, this being a big thing or a big concern is being able to be a global business as well as a domestic business. This
Well,
offers that opportunity. Yeah.
I often feel too that in order to be a global business, you must go global. And that sometimes means leaving your desk and getting out there and going.
Yeah.
Looking for new opportunities, new sourcing of new product.
Now, you, Anthony, and Susan, you both do trade shows to help find leads for the products and maybe new distributors. Would you recommend that for somebody coming in this business to do trade shows? Could you help them with that at all?
Well, we recommend that they do, or we can suggest that they do home shows.
Yeah.
There are so many different types of, there's
Marketing
hardware
avenues, yeah.
shows, there's the individual shows. The home shows we have found to be very productive
Right.
for a number of the products. We have found, though, that in the home shows it's better to focus on one or two products at a time as opposed to having 15 products. You wouldn't necessarily have a complete line of product at a home show. It's important for people to identify with one product.
Yeah.
We have found that to be very successful. People can sell these products. They don't only have to sell them via the retail route. They can sell them wholesale.
Right.
We have, like I said, we have a product that is used in the door called the Door Scope. Very
Sure.
unique product.
Yeah.
That particular product could be sold to developers and home builders, home shows. It could be sold to individuals. It could be sold in various different methods of selling ideas and techniques that people might want to employ.
So the marketing opportunities are numerous.
I've come up with a new concept, which is probably appealing mostly to women. But you see so many jewelry shows, at-home
Yeah.
parties that people give, and I thought, why not a security party? It's a great way
I
to
like it.
get started and repeat customers. You have a whole line, just,
Well, we're looking at a business that if somebody is watching and both the husband and the wife want to participate in the business, this is a family business.
Oh, it's-
Great
Oh,
opportunity.
you have the husband, the
excellent-
wife, you can have your children, you can have, I mean, it's an unlimited opportunity.
Right.
I mean, you're, how can I say it, you're only limited by your own limitations.
Sure. Yeah. Now, would you now advise people that might be wanting to start? I know the two of you, we talked about, you developed a business plan. After getting into business, you saw the value
Right.
of a business plan. And one of our earlier shows or later shows, we talked about business planning. Would you advise people to develop their own business plans as they're getting into this business, or perhaps?
I think a lot depends on the scope of the business
Yeah.
that you plan. Initially, you don't have to, and that may be more than some people are prepared to do.
Yeah.
This is a wonderful opportunity to get into it, to see how it moves for you,
Right.
and then decide how big do you want to get, because there's so much room. It's a new industry, and there's not much competition of the product line that we offer and the rack,
Right.
because no one has product out on the rack to the extent that with the volume of product we have.
They're getting kind of an exclusive here.
Right.
Okay, I'm glad we brought that point because somebody can start this in a very, very casual way, maybe while they're still working a job. And as that business starts to grow and they become bigger and more involved in it and maybe even phase out of their job, that's the time they can be thinking about developing a full-blown business plan with it.
Well, it's always a good idea to have an outline of what you'd like to do and,
Yeah.
an approach of what you'd like to do. And we suggest that when people do go into business for themselves,
Right.
you know, some people have been in businesses, some people have been in corporate America and they wake up one morning and all of a sudden they're in business for themselves.
Yeah.
They didn't want to be, but they are because they have no other alternative. The approach is that they should definitely identify a method and identify an outline and an approach that they want to take.
Yeah.
And then from there, they can expand that. Because the one thing about a business plan or a business outline is that it's changeable.
Sure.
And you have to be flexible with it.
Yeah.
And today, with everyone has a computer. To develop a business plan, even to develop a projection with on your own, is really very, very simple. You don't need to go out and hire expensive consultants in order to do this. You literally can do, you know, on your own. When you get to the next level, where you're looking to raise capital and you're looking to do other, then you would go to consultants, which we did ourselves.
Yeah.
To go to people that specialize in an area. And the reason is because we're focusing our attention on our business. We don't necessarily want to spend that energy and time to develop a business plan when we're spending the time in developing our products.
We might tell the viewers that you started this business really much like they may be starting the business as a very small enterprise. And it just grew and grew and grew. Because we've been acquainted for a while, and I've gotten to see how quickly and the growth that the business has gone through since you started it. And it's exciting to watch. I'm watching it. You may be a Fortune 500 company someday, next time we talk.
That's right. That's right.
No, I just want to at least get across and emphasize to people that there's a niche opportunity here with products that basically, where there's a market, a viable market, a growing market, out of necessity, need. You're offering a place where people can buy it and see it, and the impulse is there. And so I want to give out the numbers so that if they want to call, because people are going to try to get a hold of me and ask me how to get a hold of you, so this will make it a little easier. At least you can get them some information if they want it.
Sure.
That number is 1-800-881-9033. And they'll be able to talk with you personally.
Great.
And should people want to start, what kind of investment are we looking at here? I mean, from the minimum to the maximum.
Anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 to $10,000
Right.
can put them in to a very nice market.
Okay, on the low side, though, $3,000 might be a initial investment, which is a modest investment to get into business.
$3,000 would get them a modest amount of product.
Yeah.
And the advantage here is that, is that they're buying product. And
Right.
the product that they're purchasing, if they can sell the product that they purchase, they could make a profit.
Yeah.
It's up to them. We can't make people go to work, but we can, give them direction. We can give them the right kind of products to work with.
That's right. We can give them the tools. The drive and the initiative is theirs. And people that are exploring or looking or tire kicking, no matter what they look at, are going to have to deal with being self-starters.
And we think we've made it as easy as possible.
Yeah.
Initially, I mean, you're just going out there and you're just placing product.
Yeah.
So everything else has been done for you.
Well, I'm fascinated here. I'm learning things. I'm seeing the expansion that you've gone through. Doorscope, we've talked about that at a time in the past. If people want to get started right away, is there a waiting period, or can you ship product as soon as they want to go?
Typically, the product, when someone places an order with us, our product is shipped out within 7 to 10 days.
Okay.
Many times it's sooner than that, depending on where they're located, depending on the quantities. If if we get very large orders, then that might take a little longer depending.
Susan and Anthony Katea, and that's our show for today, and we hope you've learned as much as I have watching Start Your Own Business. Be with us next time. I'm Jim Rossetti. So long.